Last year's winner of the Castrol Toyota Formula Regional Oceania Trophy is now in Formula One, while a former star of the class is the newest F1 World Champion. So there's huge interest in the 2026 season, which has attracted 19 incredibly well-credentialed drivers from all corners of the globe. Some are back for another shot, others have come from supercars and even the World Rally Championship. A stacked field, all set for one of the most competitive summers of motorsport here in New Zealand. We're in the mighty Waikato, about an hour south of Auckland. The Hampton Downs International layout, just under 4Ks long, runs anti-clockwise with good opportunities to use the new push-to-pass system in the races. First up, qualifying. Your commentators, Richard Crail and Andrew Waite.
If you're new to Castrol Toyota Formula Regional Oceania, this is a global category. The same car that you race here is the same car you can race in the United States, in America, across Asia. So the skills are transferable, and then you build your experience with each championship you go through. For reference, the quickest pole position time here at the equivalent round last season was Arvid Lindblad in the Sunday qualifying session, 1 minute 27.74. 1 minute 29.61 for Ryan Wood, quickest time of the weekend so far. So Wood goes to the top. He bumped young Brit Freddie Slater off in car number 22nd. He's very highly rated. Jin Nakamura, the Japanese driver, goes to second place at a 29.6. Kalle Rovanperä is 12th, by the way, at 1 minute 30.3. Yugoshuku still on top by 0.2 of a second over Ryan Wood. And in fact, he just goes quicker again with a 1 minute 29.26. Freddie Slater goes up to second position now, the young Brit. Wood back to third. Everyone on their final lap now. Slater and Wood have just crossed the line. So they're a corner and a half behind car number 4. So Hugo's going to be the first one to get to the line. Current margin, 0.1 of a second. Freddie Slater in second. Ryan Wood in third. And chops and changes. Louis Sharp goes up to second place. Great lap from Louis. The young Kiwi flying early. Freddie Slater back to third position. And Kanato Lee goes up to fourth place. Checkered flag is flying. If you're on a lap now, it's all you've got.
Louis Sharp comes up a little bit there as well, into position number 2.
The margins are so close, Andrew. Louis Sharp is 0.007 of a second behind and no improvement from Slater. It looks like Ryan Wood's going to finish this one in 5th position, so a third row start for the young Kiwi. Hugo Yugoshuku is going to get pole position for the first race in Castrol Toyota Formula Regional Oceania by the massive margin of 0.007 of a second. There are some babies on this grid, but they are all very fast. The man from New York got pole, though. Hugo Yugoshuku got pole position for M2 competition. His teammate Freddie Slater lines up behind him. 7/1000ths back in quali was Louis Sharp, the Kiwi for M-Tech. And then Kanato Lee, the first of the high-tech entries, out of 4. Ryan Wood is out of 5, 0.2 off pole position, and Jin Nakamura alongside him. Zach Scholar, runner-up in the championship last season, out of 7 alongside Aussie James Walton. Ivan David from Sri Lanka did a nice job to get into the 10, and Rivera was 10th. Yuanpan Sui in 11th position, the Chinese driver. Norman Alea, the American, out of 13, out of Indy next. Seb Manson, one of the fast young Kiwis who was a race winner last summer, out of 14th position for M2. Struggled a little bit in qualifying. And then you see Kalle Rovanperä right behind him in 16th. But he's not that far off the pace. 1 second exactly. This is the 21st season of what started as the Toyota Racing Series, and this is the pathway to Formula One for so much young talent. The champion of last summer, Arvid Lindblad, is now a Red Bull racing driver in Formula One. Lando Norris, the world champion, won here a couple of years ago. We're away. The first race in Formula Regional Oceania Trophy, and it's Louis Sharp with the best start, and he slams the door in front of Yugoshuku into turn 1. The New Zealander's going to lead them down the back straight, but the poleman will get a tow. Everyone through cleanly. Sharp immediately goes hard right onto the white line in the big braking zone towards turn 2. Great start, car 11. He leads race 1.
Yeah, great start by Louis Sharp there. You can see he got that initial launch. He knew it. He moved over to the right to close down Ugo there as much as he possibly could, so he didn't have the best possible line on exit.
Jim Nakamura in there, the Japanese driver, the 2 high-tech cars, silver and black in 4th and 5th position. Is it Freddie Slater, I think, that might have lost a little bit of ground on the start of this race? Or was it Ryan Wood? Leaders just gapping it. Then the 2 high-tech cars, so Lee in front of Nakamura. Slater's dropped ground, as has Ryan Wood. Everyone else sorts themselves out. Ugashukwu having a look into the hairpin, the right-hander. 2 corners after this one. Push to pass, by the way, does not activate until the end of lap 1. So expect to see them on the button on the exit of turn 1 and the run down to turn 2. Red Bull car squeezes down the inside. That's Rivera, 9th and 10th position. Yvonne David and Zach Scholar in the mix there as well.
Clean but hard racing so far amongst them all. Or as you see a lock-up down into the last corner. It's so important to get a really good run out of the exit of the last corner to come up over the hill to complete the first lap of the race. So once they go across the start-finish line here, they can now start using the push to pass. So look for the flashing light on the rear of the car. That's when you know they're going to start using it.
So it's Freddie Slater who had the bad start. He's gone from 4th position down to 6th. Side by side, Zach Skuller on Slater. Gets driven right down to the inside on the painted white line. 2 wheels in the dirt in the short circuit here at Hampton Downs as Ryan Wood looks down the inside of Nakamura but backs out of it at turn 2. He got the nose there but wasn't far enough down the inside to commit.
He's used to a few more panels around him to get away with a bit more, but he did the right thing there, pulled back out of it. It's a long enough race, this one. Once again, they come across through the last corner. Such a hard corner on the exit there because you've got all that aero wash. When you're right behind a car, all that dirty air from the car in front of you makes it really hard to get a good run. But Seb Manson has a look around the outside.
Oh, gets it done on Guampu Tsui, the Chinese driver. Good pass. Jack Taylor's in the back and Phil McLaughlin too. He didn't qualify where he wanted. Down in 15th place, but he's got a great run out of turn 1. Someone off a little bit further back. That was...
Was that Rivera as well? Who's just done the same thing? Sorry to interrupt there. Yeah. Same time as well on the exit of the first corner. So that's all part of the learning process for Calais here, is understanding what the aero does and the difference with that. Because in a rally, you're not following other cars. You're all on your own. So for this, you've got to learn what's going on, how much this aero really is affected when you're behind another car.
The battle is on. Ryan Wood has grabbed 4th position away from Jin Nakamura. It was a good run around the outside. We think push to pass involved in that to get the run, but then had to defend all the way down towards turn 2. Covered him off. Great local experience there for Ryan Wood.
You see Ryan Wood, this is his pass around the outside. Got a beautiful run out of the last corner. And doesn't look like the push to pass was active at that stage, so just made it work without it. So good job by Ryan.
10-second penalty going the way of Calais Rovanpera. We understand for an incident with Cooper Shipman that happened on lap 8. So we'll get to the bottom of that one for you. But a challenging opening race in his Castrol Toyota Formula Regional Oceania career for Calais Rovanpera. Hello to everyone from Finland who's watching on the stream.
Ryan Wood's finding his feet now. He's just done the fastest lap of the race, 30.2. That is 2/10, nearly quicker than anyone else. So he's certainly let those fronts cool down a little bit, got them back, and now he's charging on.
And fastest laps are important too, Andrew, in this race in particular, because the grid for race 3 determined by the combined fastest laps in race 1 and race 2. So the battle is on for the final step on the podium. Louis Sharp has extended that margin. It's out to 1.1 seconds now in the final lap of the race. So Ugashukwu, I think, is going to settle for 2nd here and just bank some championship points early in this one. What a drive this has been. It all came down to a brilliant start and an aggressive run around the outside of turn 1 for Louis Sharp. He then defended heavily on the run into turn 2 to cover his line. And then it's been a pressure cooker race between the 2 leaders at the start of this one. He came into the championship with backing from the Tony Quinn Foundation. He's one of the bright hopes for New Zealand motorsport, one of many at the moment. Louis Sharp, the 18-year-old from Christchurch, will exit the final corner. And race 1 of Castrol Toyota Formula Regional Oceania will go to a Kiwi. Louis Sharp opens his account in style and wins race 1 at Hampton Downs. Louis Sharp wins the opening race in Castrol Toyota Formula Regional Oceania Trophy for 2026. Ugu Ugashukwu in 2nd place for M2 competition and Kanato Lifa High-Tech in 3rd. Ryan Wood raced his way to 4th place, gained a spot from his starting position. Freddie Slater will be, I think, perhaps the most frustrated driver out of that. Started near the front, ends up in 6th position. Sebastian Manson was involved in all kinds of battle and was actually passed by Wiampu Chue late in that race for 11th and 12th position. Theo McLaughlin up from 15th to 13th.
Congratulations. You look like you barely broke a sweat there. Well done.
Thank you so much. It was a well-managed race. Got a good start. Was able to take the lead into T1. So and then from that point, was just trying to look after the tyres. Obviously, Ugo was pretty quick behind me, so he definitely never gave me a second of rest. But no, fantastic result. Going to say a big thank you to the MTech team. They gave me an amazing race car.
Tell me how critical it was to get that start, get that P1 lap 1.
Yeah, it's super important, you know, especially nowadays in single-seater racing, overtaking is pretty limited. Obviously, now this year we've got the push to pass, which I think, you know, gives a bit of a strategy and helps a little bit. But at the end of the day, there's still a lot of error wash and still hard to follow. So I knew if I could lead into T1, I'd probably just have enough to hang on.
A proud Kiwi takes the first win of the season and makes a statement of intent. Well done to Louis Sharp. Ugo looks like the complete package, doesn't he? With Kanato Lee an impressive third. A quick break, race 2 just around the corner. Welcome back. There's a new innovation for the 26 season that is sure to spice up the racing, as Andrew Waite explains.
One of the great new additions to the championship this year is the push to pass. This is going to make the racing even better. So the push to pass button, you press it and it gives you around 25 horsepower. And what that equates to around 8 kilometers an hour down the straight, which is about 0.3 of a second per straight. So it is certainly an advantage when you do press the button. But using it strategically is really important because you only get 6 uses of the button in sprint races. And in the longer races, the feature races, you can press it 8 times. But that's all well and good. You can't then press it 4 or 5 times per lap. You've got 100 seconds stand down until you can use the button once you have pressed it. So it's really important to know when to use it, how to use it to get the absolute most out of it. And the other thing as well is for the drivers behind and anyone viewing on TV, you'll see a flashing light on the back of the car. That'll indicate to the cars behind that the car in front is then using the button. And on the steering wheel, you can see the button right here, PTP, that's the Go Fast button. We'll be seeing plenty of use of that over the weekend.
The top 8 finishers from race 1 are reversed to set the grid for race 2. Richard Crail alongside Andrew to call all the action.
So a reverse top 8 of your race 1 finishing results, which means Evan David starts this one from pole alongside Zach Scholar, second in the championship last year. This is an opportunity for him to get some points. Freddie Slater and Jin Nakamura out of 4. Ryan Wood out of 5, which is exactly where he started race 1. He ended up in 4th. Ugu Ugashukui out of 7th, the race 1 runner-up, and Louis Sharp, the winner, out of 8th. Ernesto Rivera, 9, and James Wharton, 10. Yuampu Chue out of 11, and Seb Manson, the young Kiwi, 12. Phil McLaughlin, we mentioned there in the 33 car for High Tech out of 13th, and Nolan Alla, the American from Giles Motorsport, out of 14th. Then Jack Taylor, Ricardo Baptista, Calais Rovanpera, and Trevor La Tourette rounding out the 18. Cooper Shipman was the only DNF in that field early on. And word through from the Toyota GAZOO Racing camp that car number 24 will have to start this one from the pit lane. Left of screen is Evan David, the first Sri Lankan to race in the championship. On the right, the Kiwi Zach Scholar, runner-up last year. Away we go, and it's the Kiwi with a better start. Comfortably will lead into turn 1. Nakamura looks down the inside, around the outside, side by side, and loses the spot in the end. Nakamura back in position, but Scholar leads them down the back straight for the first time, and the freight train commences immediately. Weaving around, Freddie Slater going the long way round. Big move, Freddie Slater. The Brit made a really good start. He's already got ground, and he's going to try and squeeze up the inside of David, who shuts the door. They're side by side through turn 3 and turn 4.
That is a massive start by Freddie Slater there. Just got a little bit too aggressive at turn 2. Didn't quite get the car stopped in time, and then that dropped him back an extra position. So that brings Nakamura up. He's had an awesome start as well, already up into 3rd place.
Into the double Bs, the pair of left-handers that's been challenging everyone this weekend. So Slater for a moment was second, now he's back. Who's that spinning in the background? James Wharton. Or is it Sharp? It's our race 1 winner. No, it's James Wharton. You were right the first time. So car 13 pointing in the wrong direction at the double Bs. And if he cannot get that car fired, it may well be stranded. So away we go. It doesn't matter for Scholar because he got a really good run out the final corner. He nailed the restart. So too did Jin Nakamura, who'll go side by side. Where are they at the control line though? He showed as being passed at the control line. And then David goes through again. So now he's under pressure. The second of the high-tech cars is in the mix as well. So too Freddie Slater. Jevan David still clinging on to second place, the pole sitter.
This is perfect for Zach Scholar out in front, able to just get into it, and Freddie Slater again side by side with Jin Nakamura there. Oh, they touch on the exit, but this gives the right line to Freddie Slater up the inside. They still side by side. Great racing by these guys.
5 corners now. Kanato Lee, the podium finisher from race 1's in there too. They almost bump wheels again, side by side for 6 corners now. And finally, Nakamura holds on to the position. It's taken so long, and now Louis Sharp is buying into this. Car number 11, blue and black FT60, fighting on, and Ryan Wood on the outside. Busy after the restart. Feisty stuff. This is all allowed Zach Scholar just to pull away out in front. Look at Wood going to send up the inside on the 19 car of Kanato Lee. He's got damage. His front wing's gone. His front wing's missing. That's race over. All the front downforce will disappear from the high-tech car. He's going to have to go to pit lane, and he will get that replaced, but he will be right at the back of the field.
And Ugo Shukwu, who's on the outside as well of Louis Sharp, trying to go the long way around. Able to use the push to pass now. Is he going to activate? He can see the light is on. He's gone to the left-hand side. That extra 25 horsepower. Is it going to be enough to go around the outside of Louis Sharp? He's got the move done.
Sharp looks down the inside of the 4 car. Squeezes down there. Can he get past Ugo Shukwu after the battle for the race 1 win? Squeezes him wide on the exit with some oversteer, and Sharp will get another position. Seb Manson's in the mix. What racing this is. This is 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, all the way down to Phil McLaughlin in 13th position in the Red Bull car.
That was world class by Louis Sharp to throw it back up the inside. He was at that point over a car length behind, and then Shukwu now, Ugo Shukwu, he's up the inside. He's now got the move done. These guys are fighting super hard. They know this is an important race.
Battle side by side, Red Bull back drivers, Kalle Rovanperä and Ernesto Rivera. Rovanperä up to 11th place through all this skirmishing. It's been a really good start for the Flying Finn, who's a little bit wide on the exit of turn 1. And this will cost him because Rivera is going to get a great run and will get down the inside. Manson, meanwhile, has to defend from Chue, who is looking to go around the outside. Allah is in the mix as well. Here's the battle for second. Nakamura gets down the inside on the Sri Lankan driver. Has he got the pass done this time, or will the fight back occur down here at turn 2? In the toe, in the slipstream. Nakamura's got the racing line. David with a really good run, possibly on the push to pass. The Japanese driver sliding around, but a right front lock-up for the Sri Lankan. Bowls it wide. Nakamura holds on to the spot. This is good racing, and Ryan Wood is right in this mix as well. So in comes the man from Wellington, the Supercars racer. Look at the double toe they've got going on here on the run down towards turn 1. Wood's going to try it on Slater, who immediately jams himself down to the inside of the road and covers his line.
This is fantastic racing. The reverse top 8 race. It is all go. As there has been a drive-through penalty issued as well for car number 22, Sebastian Manson, for a little incident on turn 1 with Wharton there. So that's obviously been deemed his fault. So just underneath our commentary position.
Manson into pit lane as well.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, Manson back in pit lane, so whether it's a puncture or maybe because now his race is more or less done and dusted, he's come in to get those tyres off the car to save them for another race tomorrow, because, you know, when you're stuck down there in those lower positions, there's not much more you can do there. As what a move by the Freddie Slater. Ryan
Wood tried to send it round the outside at turn 1, because of course he did, and Slater now finds himself defending left and right. Woody on a charge for a podium in this race. Now further back in the field, it's not spectacular wheel-to-wheel racing, but we've got a bit of a fastest lap off going on, because there's a bunch of drivers well out of position that have stopped to put new tyres on and are trying to set the quickest lap of the race or improve their lap times. Among them, Seb Manson and Ernesto Rivera. Kanato Lee, remember, pitted for that front wings to set the quickest final sector of the whole race. 29.8 last time round for Wharton. Is absolutely flying in this one. Rivera's gone quicker at a 29.70. 29.9 for Canato. Lee's got pace as well, but right now Rivera with the quickest lap of the race, which will help him climb up the order for the race 3 grid tomorrow. Final lap, 3.8 Ks remaining for Zach Scholar.
This race last year, this round was where we discovered who Zach Scholar was. A fast, young driver who came flying onto the scene here in New Zealand and once again out in front.
And MTech Motorsport are having a very, very good day at the office and against one of the strongest fields of international drivers assembled in this championship for years. Saturday, well, today for the locals. Kiwis are going to win both races. Zach Scholar crosses the line and wins race 2 in Castrol Toyota Formula Regional Oceania Trophy. Zach Scholar, the winner. The margin in the end, 1.7 seconds. There was some management towards the end. Freddie Slater and Ryan Wood next. Kalle Rovanperä just missed out in his first top 10 finish, 11th, but a really racy 11th for the Finn.
That's a massive step up from where he's been in that first race to where he is in that race. He just even looked more racy.
Some good drives further back too. Cooper Shipman in 12th position and Trevor Latourette in 13th. Personal best finishes for both of them. Canato Lee took the front wing off that car early and had to pit, and so too did everyone behind.
Zach Scholar, congratulations. The pressure was on, but from the start, tell me how important that was.
Yeah, I mean, we've been working towards that launch. Got a pretty good launch off the line and then sort of built up about 3-second gap at the start and then just managed it from there.
Talk to me about the push to pass. What have you learnt so far today and how is it going to impact the rest of this season?
I mean, it's definitely pretty vital, not even just because of overtaking, because of obviously the new format, race 3, you have the combined fastest laps, so you need to use it strategically to get that fastest lap, and yeah, it's all a bit of a learning curve.
I know you've got plenty of friends and family here to celebrate with you, so enjoy the celebrations.
Just like last season, Zach Scholar gets an early win on the board. Jin Nakamura an excellent second, and Freddie Slater reminding us of his talent. Meantime, some post-race penalties have been handed out for allegedly using push-to-pass outside permitted windows, and it affects our Race 1 winner, Louis Sharp too. We have Race 3 coming your way in just a moment. We're back. The third of 4 races this weekend is established by an aggregate of fastest lap times from both races, with some drivers strategically pitting in that last one for new tyres to give them a better grid position. This could really mix things up as we go to Richard and Andrew in commentary.
That's the grid. We've heard from the top 4. Jin Nakamura has been very solid across the start of this championship. He's out of 5th for High Tech, and Ryan Wood out of grid number 6. He has been racy and aggressive in making moves in the championship so far. So too Freddie Slater. His cold tyre pace, Andrew, has been outstanding.
Yeah, he's been super aggressive off the start, so expect to see him come through a bit, and then Zach Scholar as well. He's sitting there in position number 9. And Seb Manson as well. He's still looking for a little bit of a pace, knows how much things have stepped up. He's stepping himself up as a driver, and even David as well. Great amount of people here supporting him today.
The lights are on. Race 3, Castrol Toyota Formula Regional Oceania Trophy goes 3 from the outside of the front row, getting the best start. Lee gets the run into turn 1. Ugashukwa's going with him too. He's jumped the front row, guys. He's going to be in 2nd position and putting the challenge on. There's cars wide on the outside. Zach Scholar, I think, running wide on the exit of turn 1. Ugashukwa going around the outside of Canato Lee. The battle for the lead early as they go into turn 2, but the Japanese driver's going to hold on. Rivera will be 3rd, Wharton 4th, Nakamura just in behind.
Wharton there up the inside as well, back in 3rd place, side by side with Rivera. So Rivera's launch was just slow. It was nothing to do with track conditions or anything. He just didn't quite get a good reaction off the start, so that dropped him back straight away. That put Canato Lee into the lead.
Nakamura gaining ground again on the opening lap. He's been very good at that. Freddie Slater and Ryan Wood back of shot. They are in the thick of the action, going side by side on the exit of the double Bs, and Wood right out wide and locking an inside front as he gets up the inside of Sebastian Manson and covers his line. Evan David in there as well in the yellow and blue car. As always, the opening laps of CTFROT races are fiery. into the Porsche Dipper, turn 9, and then the long run back towards the start-finish line. And it's all choked up behind Calais Rovanpera's in this mix. So too Theon McLaughlin and Cooper Shipman as well.
Yeah, but David with a bit of a lock up into turn number 9 as well. Wouldn't hurt the tyre too much because it's not fully up to temp. And as soon as they come across the start-finish line, their push to pass is now active. So they have 6 attempts at using it for this race.
Ryan Wood has dropped 2 spots, and he could drop another because Seb Manson's going to go around the outside and try and get that position done in the 22 car pink and chrome livery on that entry. And gets a really good run into the final corner. Wood has to defend and cover his line all the way down towards turn 2. Kanato Lee is your race leader. Push to pass is now active.
And so just on that as well, so now Ryan's used it, as we can see, round the outside for Slater. Closes the door on Wharton there. That was on Louis Sharp, sorry. Got the move done.
So 6th and 7th position, side by side across the line, and Sharp now on the push to pass. The rain light flashing indicates that the button has been pushed and that extra 25 horsepower has been deployed, and he'll try and go the long way round now outside the young British ace, but the 27 car is going to hold on. And Freddie Slater has got the position. He's up to 6. Jack Taylor making another move. He goes around the outside of Ricardo Baptista. Likes to go by Cardi. So Cardi Baptista in the 41 car goes side by side, so he'll get that position back, and Rovanpera buying into this as well.
On the push to pass as well. He's got the horsepower around the outside. Can he take 2 for 1?
The thing I love about rally drivers, Andrew, is there is zero fear of commitment. They are happy to give 110%, if not more. And that's what we've got from Rovanpera. But nice racecraft too. Knew that if he could hang down the inside and then go around the outside of turn 2, he would get that position in the inside line. A couple of corners later, it's paid off. He's got the spot.
Yeah, he done very, very well there to get those 2 positions. And
lead change at the front. It felt like it was looming for a while, but Ugo Ugashukwu has grabbed the race lead. A great pass down at turn 2 and then an arm wrestle through turn 3. He got the toe. Great run out of turn 1. So the move started early. And we've seen this so many times here at Hampton Downs. If you commit the long way around the outside and you're given racing room, then on the exit, as Kanato Lee did, you can get that pass done into turn 3. Nice racecraft. And the USA driver now takes the race lead.
oh, as we see La Tourette, he is off the track. Just trying to work out exactly where that is.
And big flames out of the exhaust, just trying to get that car refired. So that's the unburnt fuel. He might be able to get the car refired, but I would doubt that it is driving out of that gravel trap. And it is not driving out of that gravel trap. And the GR Supra safety car will be called, ready for a restart. Lap 15 of 18, it'll be lap 16 next time by. Ugo Ugashukwu leads them back to green. Kanato Lee in second. Ernesto Rivera, who started from pole, is third. And Jin Nakamura in 4th position. The second of the 2 cars from High Tech in that leading group. And he's probably the one that's got the best of the restarts. It's really busy behind, though. James Wharton having to defend because around the outside goes Freddie Slater, looking to make a run. Behind them is Louis Sharp and Ryan Wood, Seb Manson and Zach Schooler.
Fair now, Rivera defending his position down into turn 1. Oh, it's Jin Nakamura there. Tried to go up the inside, fake to the left, back to the right. Didn't quite make it work.
Big moment there as they go side by side. Louis Sharp, I think, is going to get a spot. Freddie Slater was helped out wide by Wharton as they were battling. And the number 11, the young Kiwi race 1 winner, has squeezed through. So Louis Sharp gets up a spot. Freddie Slater back 1.
This is where we see Slater, though, with the speed that he normally has. This is where he excels when the tyres aren't quite up to temp. So is he going to be able to come back at Louis Sharp or not?
Oh, he's very, very wide on the exit of the double Bs. Did he get to pick up on cold tyres, perhaps? Zach School around the outside. You have David in front, but he's tumbling down the order.
Yeah, not a great lap for him as he's locked up again. He's obviously very, very frustrated with what's going on there.
I wonder if he's got a puncture potentially or a slow leak out of the Porsche Dipper for the final time. He qualified on pole position. He'll start the feature race from pole position. He's the championship leader. The one box left to tick was to get a race victory. And Ugo Ugashukwu is going to get the win in race 3 here at Hampton Downs. He passed his way to the front and he gets the checkered flag first. 116th race win for M2 competition in what was the Toyota Racing Series, is now Castrol Toyota Formula Regional Oceania. Great battles all the way through the field. James Lawton drove the wheels off that thing to finish 5th. Louis Sharp, 2, gained some ground late in 6th place. Ryan Wood fought to 7th. Sebastian Manson, one of the biggest gainers on the grid, started outside the top 10 up into 8th position at the end. And Zach Schooler, the race 2 winner, ends up rounding out the top 10. Freddie Slater lost a lot of ground on the restart, back to 12th position. Trevor Lazarette, unfortunately, the non-finisher in race 3 of Castrol Toyota Formula Regional Oceania.
Congratulations, Ugo Ukashukwu, your first race win in this series. It was really nice to see celebrations with the team. How important was it to get that start and then get that pass done?
Yeah, really important, of course. I was starting P4, so we knew we had a lot of work to do to get the win in this race. But I had a mega start, definitely my best start so far. Good T1 as well, so got into P2. And then, yeah, I was just trying to challenge for the lead. Was quite tricky, but I managed to get quite close on one of the laps with push to pass, and then yeah, managed to send it around the outside of T2 and get the lead, and from there I just had to manage it until the end.
Certainly looks like this weekend you've got the speed in qualifying sorted. Do you feel like the race pace is now starting to come to you as well?
Yeah, definitely, for sure. Pace all around has been really good, so yeah, it's been good. We've got really good points.
Ugo joins the category winners list and he's looking comfortable at the top of the points ladder too. Early days though. Another podium for Kanato Lee with Ernesto Rivera 3rd. Stay with us. The feature race for the prestigious Dorothy Smith Memorial Cup is up next. Highlights time for the second qualifying session of the season now. Let's go to commentary.
This qualifying session will set the grid for the feature race, Dorothy Smith Trophy race, this afternoon here at Hampton Downs. Slater's car tries to swap in through the double B at turn 6 and turn 7, and as a result, he's run right off the road, and that is going to be very, very costly on what was potentially a build lap before starting a push lap to set a fast lap time, because they are starting to get some energy into the sector times at the moment. Mugo's just done a 29.8 on his first flying lap, his first real push lap of the session. Zach Schooler goes to 2nd position and Ernesto Rivera in 3rd. Freddie Slater recovering from that moment at the double Bs at turn 6 and 7 is 4th. Ukachukwu is still quickest and pressing on again. Purple, he's car number 4, cross the line and improves again. 1 minute 29, 2:24, and takes the margin out to 0.4 of a second. Rivera was 2nd 10 seconds ago. He's now 5th, beaten by Kanato Lee and Louis Sharp, who was 2nd for the briefest of moments and then got tumbled down the order. Nakamura goes to 2nd.
Kalle Rubensperra up to P6.
Wow.
That is a massive effort by him. Got it all together on that last lap. That is huge. Only half a second away from pole. Great lap by him.
Nolan Aller has been shuffled down to 10th. He was 6th about 5 minutes ago. Less than that, in fact. So he's still on a good lap right at the end of the session. Is there an opportunity for him to jump up? He does. He goes back to 6th position. Good lap for the Giles Motorsport driver. But Ugo Ukachukwu is going to get pole again. Here's Zach Schooler. He's down in 11th position, race 2 winner. And there's some improvement. He climbs up the order and gets to 7th.
Louis Sharp's just popped up another number as well. He's up into 3rd place.
Here's your qualifying results. Intense session, but comfortable through it all. At one point had 0.4 of a second over the field, ended up being 0.2, and a 2nd pole position for the American driver who grabs pole. Jin Nakamura in 2nd, Louis Sharp next, then Kanato Lee in 4th, Rivera P5. He's going to be exciting to watch today. So Ugo has won race 3 this morning. He leads the championship, but Jin Nakamura has been hugely consistent, and Kanato Lee right behind him, his high-tech teammate Fast. Louis Sharp in the mix as well. Ernesto Rivera started on pole in race 3. He's out of 5. Norman Aller, really impressive, the American for Giles Motorsport. Martini liveried car, looks cool. Was fast in qualifying for this race. Zach Schooler out of 7th position alongside Freddie Slater. Calais Rovanpera 9th, as you said. Outstanding job in qualifying. And James Wharton, who ran in the top 10 in race 3, was speedy in quali. He starts 10th in this, in front of Ryan Wood. That's his worst starting position from the 4 races so far. Sebastian Manson, who ended up right inside the top 10 in race 3, thanks to some penalties for other drivers, will start just outside it in this one. Watch for the lights. Ready for a start. Race 4, Castrol Toyota Formula Regional. Oceania is away, and the pole man for the first time all weekend gets a good start. Nakamura goes around the outside, but Ugu's going to get the run through turn 1 and lead them down the back straight for the first time. But he will be vulnerable. The high-tech car number 12 pulls out. They'll go side by side. Big moment for Calais Rovanpera. He's off the road. Manson's involved in that as well. Several cars with damage, and Ryan Wood spinning off into the infield. There's definitely going to be a safety car. Yvonne David's got big damage. It's taken the right corner out, and Ryan Wood's furious. Keep your eye mid-pack. Manson right of screen. Bright pink nose on his car. Oh, was there contact from behind for Manson, or was it wheels interlocking with Rovanpera? He got into that gravel trap in the ditch just before it. So this is going to give us a better indication of where Ryan Wood was caught up. There it was. So Manson's car spinning, clips Wood first, and then as it spun back around the other way, it clipped Yvonne David as he went past. And this is going to be busy. This could be the opportunity to get to the race lead in the Dorothy Smith Memorial Cup.
They have been super feisty, these restarts. As we get back underway around the last corner, the green flag is back out, and we are back underway with some racing. Remember, you cannot press the push to pass button at this stage. You've got to wait until you cross the start finish line for the next lap. So Ugo Shugu with a great restart there.
Side by side here around the outside of turn 3. That's busy. Now down the inside at 4. Just in front of that is Louis Sharp. Freddie Slater's making some moves and making them quick and getting it done. The 27 car's up to 4th.
The aggression from Slater to be able to make those moves. Brilliant job by him. He's super aggressive. We keep talking about it on those first couple of laps. Got the move done up into 5th.
As Rivera dives it down the inside. It's a big move to do that. And then they'll go side by side. It's quite a big elevation change up the hill and then into the Porsche Dipper. The left-hander plunges down about 10 feet and then get the power down on the exit. Alla's got a freight train behind him. Rivera, Wharton, Sway and McLaughlin now.
So come across the start-finish line to start another lap around the outside. Rivera, he's got the push to pass on, and there is a classic example of the push to pass. It has worked to allow him to go right around the outside of Alla there, and Alla responding again with the push to pass button, because now you'd be thinking, well, why isn't Rivera using it again? He can't. He's got that 100-second stand down where he's got to wait before he can use it. So that's Alla's best opportunity there.
And he's going to squeeze out wide. He thought about that opportunity to go round the outside, which gives you the inside line for turn 3. It did not pay off. Here we go. This is an interesting battle. Ernesto Rivera in the 24. Wharton is under pressure from the young Chinese star. Yuanpu Cui gets the pass done on the push to pass, clears him before turn 1 and moves forward a position inside the top 10. So he's up to 9th place. Rivera next. Wharton's on the button. He's chasing, and Theo McLaughlin, the Irishman, looking to get into this as well. He's from County Londonderry in Ireland, and he is looking racy. Noticed quite a few people from Ireland watching on our global live stream early on today. International interest in New Zealand motorsport for this month continues to be so successful. The 21st season of what has become Formula Regional Oceania. This battle for 4th and 5th place has just gone up a gear that lap. There was so much attitude on the 27 car for all of that lap, and he's got a great run out the final corner. Surely on the push to pass. They both must be now on the run across the start-finish line.
Doesn't look like either of them are on the push to pass because they used it.
They'll be locked out, wouldn't he?
They'll be locked out at the moment. Are they going to have it back available as Louis Sharp runs wide at turn 1, allows Slater up the inside, the drag race down towards turn number 2.
Wheel to wheel they go. on the outside is Louis Sharp. Can he fight back? He can. Slater goes a little bit wide. Sharp's going to have an opportunity here, but finally, the 17-year-old from the UK has got the position away. It's taken 19 laps to do it. Final corner on a massive weekend for Castrol Toyota Formula Regional Oceania here at Hampton Downs. And to complete the Sunday sweep and win the Dorothy Smith Memorial Cup, Ugu Ugashukwu is your leader after weekend one of Castrol Toyota Formula Regional Oceania. A 1.2 second win, his second of the season so far. Jin Nakamura and Kanato Lee on the podium. A great drive, Louis Sharp in 5th place, but Freddie Slater, probably not man of the match given what happened out in front in that controlling drive, but man, he made some moves to get there.
What a weekend you have had. A couple of pole positions, a couple of victories. Talk to me about that race. What are you most proud of?
Yeah, it was, well, firstly, it's been a great weekend overall. But yeah, that race was really tricky. Conditions were really hot, so I had to look after the tires and stuff. And yeah, Jin was really quick the whole race. He did a good race, so good job to him. So yeah, I had to keep pushing the whole way, and super happy to come away with the win.
A much longer race this afternoon, plus the interruption with the red flag. How challenging is it to keep focus when you have those types of interruptions? Yeah,
it was definitely a bit tricky on the restart with the dirty tires. There was a lot of grass and pickup on the line, so I was sliding a little bit on the restart, but managed to keep the position and yeah, managed to pull away after that and keep a healthy advantage in the lead.
You leave this series as the man at the top of the championship standings. How do you feel about where you're at? Are you comfortable with how this weekend has gone?
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely good to have such a great start. It's been really good. The whole team did an amazing job, and yeah, now we just have to keep focused. 3 more rounds to go. Keep trying to stay consistent and deliver good points throughout the rest of the championship.
Ugo does it again. What a way to kick off 4 straight weeks of racing. Nakamura and Lee turning heads, perhaps more than some in the paddock thought at this stage. It means that Ugo takes an 18-point lead into round 2. Ryan Wood just outside the 10, but absolutely showing race-winning form. He is the leading rookie. And we're off to Topor next weekend, a place Ryan knows well. Check your guides for times or come and join us trackside. For the team, it's bye for now.